I'm going to go ahead and get started on my informative speech. It was stated in a commercial produced by sustainability.vic.gov.au that the average home produces around 10 million grams of greenhouse gases every year. Did y'all know that there was an alternative solution to that? Today I'll be talking to you about solar panels and the way they benefit each individual as well as our planet. I'm going to go ahead and first talk to you about the creators and the way each one of them aided the process of the invention. Then I'll be talking to you a little bit about the panels and how they're being used in a wide variety amongst towns and cities. And then I'll go ahead and talk to you a little bit about the individual benefits for those who purchase the panels for themselves. I'm going to be talking to you about each one of the creators next, from top to bottom, left to right, and those are the pictures. The first one is named Antonio Cesar Becquerel. He was responsible for solar cell technology. What he did was, this was around in the 1800s, what he did was that he was experimenting with a single solid electrode that was dipped in electrolyte solution, which then allowed him to see a photovoltaic effect. It even allowed him to see a voltage develop when the sunlight fell on the electrolyte. The second scientist is Charles Fritz, and what he was credited for was the solar cell creation. This was in 1883, and what he did was he used a semiconductor, and what he did was he coated it with a very thin layer of gold. I found all the information for them on doityourself.solarenergy.org. The third one is Russell Owl, and what he did was, since the solar energy being produced was inefficient because it was around 1%, which we could not use it for anything much. So what Russell Owl did was that he decided to use the same way of creating the solar cell, only what he did is he added silicone to it. That boosted up the level to 6%, and through that they could start using the energy to start converting it and using it for electricity. However, it wasn't easily accessible for people, so they couldn't actually get a hold of the product for their own usage. So that's when these three researchers, the American researchers named Gerald Pearson, Calvin Fowler, and Daryl Chapin, they decided to invent the solar panel, and it was around 1954 that they finally got it together and released it out to the public. I found all their information on whoinvented.org. Next, we're going to be talking about the panels and how they're being used in a large variety and benefiting a large crowd. The solar panels take the sunlight and generate its own source of electricity. This is done completely without creating any forms of CO2 gases. These panels are then being purchased by the government and sources, so they can start creating farms, and that way the farms can start producing some of the electricity usage the consumers need for the town. There are even some towns using the farms to generate all the electricity throughout the entire town that they need. I'm going to show you a small video, which I got at growseller.org if you want to see the entire thing, and as well as the information I just stated was on SIA.org. And the video should kind of give you an idea of exactly how it's generated and ways of using it.
At Grow Solar, we say sun, baby, sun. The sun provides a clean, endless supply of life-giving energy that can also produce affordable electricity for your home or business. Let's take a look at how solar electricity works. It all starts when the sun shines on its solar electric modules. When that happens, direct current, or DC, electricity is created. DC electricity travels to a unit called an inverter, which changes it to the electricity used by your home, known as alternating current or AC electricity. AC electricity then moves to the circuit breaker panel in your house and powers anything in your home that's plugged in, like your TV, lights, or toaster. If your solar panels are producing more electricity than your home is using, like during a sunny day when you're out running errands or at work, the extra power gets piped back into the utility grid, where the utility company is required to give you a full dollar-for-dollar, watt-for-watt credit for the power you send back. This is called net metering. Your meter actually spins backwards and takes kilowatt hours off of your utility bill, kind of like rollover minutes on your cell phone plan. In this way, your utility acts like a battery for your solar power system. This allows you to use energy when you need it, while maximizing your savings when your solar system is producing more power than your home is using. Grow Solar's web-based monitoring.
As you can see, that it's not really that hard as people make it out to be, and it's a great way to benefit your family in the long run. A question for you guys is, why do you think that it's not being used very much by individual companies out there, for the household? Do you have the answer?
Because they need oil.
They need oil?
They need to use the oil. It's already
Since the government will lose money
using oil.
Does the government lose money to the oil? It's true. I think all those are great answers. I also believe that because it's not very advertised, and some people think it's really expensive, so they don't want to get it out there and actually purchase it for themselves. But it's actually cheap, and governments are actually producing grants for individuals that qualify to actually have them placed on their homes, and that way it'll be more of an advertising for them, and they'll start to get more sales and help out the whole CO2 gas emission. Other than that, I just want to conclude that I really believe it's all about education, and we need to start educating the younger generation to start having an option of gathering these panels for their homes when they start having the option of buying homes. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
I got a question.
What's your question?
My question is, like solar shingles, can we use those instead of solar panels?
Solar shingles, I've never heard of them, but if they're just like solar panels, then yeah, they should be doing the exact same effect.
Yeah, but they would cover half of my room. I would run the whole house.
I agree with the price, because I'm scared. Like, I've been trying to find out how to get solar panels, and